This is the 2KMC, and y'all better be ready because I got you.
And those are the starting lineups. Lots of interest. The week is starting off right. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Gobert.
He's really made that a focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value as a player by leaps and bounds.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. They've got Gobert. Sexton is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. Then it's John Collins. And it's Thibault in at the 3. And for Toronto, Fournier out there with Dwight Powell. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. Then it's Terrence Ross. And it's Doncic in at the point guard. And so it's Detroit with the ball. The pass to Collins. 6 to shoot. Here's Dinwiddie. And Smitty, once again, teams are switching defensively more than ever. As a side benefit, does that help defenders, you think, preserve some energy and some stamina for the game?
Yeah, I think it does, Kevin. I really think if you have the personnel to be able to switch. Some teams don't, and I think they're copycat leads. And you see the championship level teams switching, so you think you can. There are some teams, they just got to flat out come out and trap, rotate, and understand, give up shots to guys that you don't shoot a high percentage and live with that, because sometimes, especially big guys, they put them on an island, and it's just not fair.
Good point. Now Sexton, following the miss by Evan Fournier from deep. And Gobert kicks to Dinwiddie. Drills the three-pointer.
Good find, and one of Gobert's advantages as a passer, he can see over everyone's head.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Dwayne Casey and I got a chance to talk for just a bit. He said to win this game, it's all about how we handle Luka Doncic. We'll have to be on our toes defensively. Kevin, we'll see if they're able to slow down the Slovenian sensation.
Thank you, David. It's good.
Terrific play. This is why you run your offense through him and live with the results.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Passes it to Collins. Doncic against Dinwiddie. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Dinwiddie's got 5.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
Now, here's Doncic. His last outing, he had 24 points. Feeds to Powell. Good, and the assist goes to Doncic.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult one.
Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game. And don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
Lets it go with a 3. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And he can play the long-range game, the mid-range game. He takes it to the rack. Doncic is a versatile 3-level scorer.
A little undersized at the 4, but he can get off the ground.
Ross with it, guarded now by Sexton. Doncic against Collins. The 15-footer, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
And showing he's got a few tricks up his sleeve there. Doncic's handles are very impressive.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Dinwiddie passes to Collins. Pass to Thibault. Shades over Fournier. Nice D from Fournier. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Toronto And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're a coach. Your team starting fast and playing with confidence.
We've got Evan Fournier. Robinson is out there with Dwight Powell. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Ross in at the 2 spot. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. Now here's Dinwiddie. Turned in an outstanding game against Atlanta. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. Fourth, Rudy Gobert.
He must be spending a lot of time in the weight room because he's shown such strength under the basket.
Toronto leading by 5. Doncic feeling it out. Shoots over Dinwiddie. He doesn't hit that one. And Detroit the other way now. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
And boy, did that game nearly get away from them, but they were a little bit fortunate to have survived at the end of regulation.
They were extremely lucky. I think they took their opponent for granted a little, and it nearly cost them.
And they're able to recover. And out of bounds, the Pistons will take it. As we close in on the start of the playoffs, let's see how the East is stacking up. You look at Detroit. They're good enough for 8th place in the conference right now, looking to hold on to that. And, of course, Toronto, a game behind.
And I think for Toronto, they had much bigger things in mind when the season started. They didn't think of themselves as a middle-of-the-road club, but right now, that's where they are.
I thought this might happen. Confidence can take you a long way, but you also have to have the talent to back it up.
Here is Ross, following the basket by Colin Sexton. Got a piece of it. One-on-one fast break. And Sexton slams it in.
And it's clear that Sexton loves getting out in transition. He has a strong sense for how to capitalize.
Well, the Pistons, one of the more successful franchises in NBA history. 3 titles and many other trips to the NBA Finals. Only a handful of franchises can say that.
So it's the Pistons now after Luka Doncic's miss. The feed now to Gobert. Over Ross. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
And I like that they're not settling. Hitting the ball on the interior. 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw attempt on the night. And Smitty, you were talking about the Pistons, a history of success, of championships. But the last 10 years have been difficult.
Pistons have struggled the last decade. You're so right, Kevin. But this team has a track record of not staying down for long. Detroit doing what they can to return to championship contention.
Nice shot by Gobert. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Ross kicks to Doncic. Shoots over Dinwiddie. Doncic, no good.
And that's okay. Even though you miss, you had the right guy taking the shot.
Gobert the pass to Thibault. Here's Dinwiddie. No good with the triple. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Toronto. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And you'd think this was a favorable matchup for them, but last year anyway, that was not the case at all.
The Pistons have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Here's Thibault. He's guarded by Fournier. Back to Sexton. Clock at 6. And the shot is long. For Toronto, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Ross for 3. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 3 assists now in this one.
When he gets a good look at the basket, Ross has no problem drilling a 3.
Doncic against Dinwiddie. Lobbed up there for Collins. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Seven seconds left in the first half of the game. Gobert laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Gobert's got 6 points.
Nice job by Rudy Gobert. What concentration on that shot by the big fella.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 12 points, 3 assists. And
we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Gobert is out there with Collins. Then there's Sexton. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Thibault in at the 3 slot. Count that one. Hey, Smitty, every NBA player has their Mount Rushmore. Every NBA fan does. The 4 players they consider the best of all time. So I'll ask you, who is on your NBA Mount Rushmore?
I would say Michael Jordan, Kevin, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kobe Bryant. Those are my 4.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
And both free throws good for Dinwiddie. Toronto shooting around 60% on the night. Amazing work offensively so far. Pass to Ross. And he banks in the layup. He has 7.
Ross didn't seem bothered at all by the contact there. Nice finish.
Dinwiddie dishes to Collins. Back to Dinwiddie. Outside Collins. And Gobert kicks to Sexton. It's deflected. And now the fast break. Doncic with the ball. Wasted no time on that one. Doncic has got the lead up to 6 now for Toronto.
3 straight to begin this half. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Dinwiddie passes to Gobert. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. 8 points for Rudy Gobert.
A much more physical player now than when he first entered the league. Gobert powering it home.
Ross with the bounce pass. Here's Robinson. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
Even though that one didn't go down, I like the offensive game plan here. 3 for 4 coming out of the break.
And sometimes it seems like Sexton wants to get hit on the way up. He just embraces the challenge.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
84%. That's what he was able to convert on a season ago from the line.
Now here's Ross, defended by Sexton. On the wing, Doncic. Shoots over Dinwiddie. Doncic, no good. The Pistons have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And the 7-foot Frenchman, Rudy Gobert, former Defensive Player of the Year.
They call him the Stifle Tower. He's the anchor, the foundation of this team. He changes the complexion of the game when he occupies the paint.
And to the ball out of bounds. Dinwiddie touched it last. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Doncic kicks to Ross. Trains the three-pointer. Ross has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
You know what it is? It's his creativity. That's making this engine run.
Gobert finds Sexton. Just 5 on the clock. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
And although Sexton is slightly undersized, he plays with great physicality and aggression. Nice finish there off contact.
.50 left here in the third quarter. Doncic against Dinwiddie. Now, here's Doncic. He's tightly guarded. It's tipped. Dinwiddie left side. The basket good off the assist from Sexton. Dinwiddie's got 9 points.
And there's the patience you want to see from Sexton. Eyes up and finds the open man.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Outside Robinson. He kicks it to Ross. The fader. And yes, it's good. Ross has got 9 points here in the second half. 7 lead changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Toronto leads by 1. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
3/10 quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. They've got Powell. Luka Doncic out there with Terrence Ross. Then it's Evan Fournier. And it's Robinson in at the 5 down low. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Thibault, and he lays it straight in.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And the pass to Fournier, and the powerful one-handed slam.
Good job of stepping up to the plate there, seizing back the momentum for his team.
That's the competitor in him. Close game. Let me have this one.
Thibault, the pass to Collins. Kicks to Sexton. 6 on the shot clock. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Ross. Lays it up and banks it in. And now it's a 3-point Toronto lead.
They continue to battle out there, so close to taking the lead.
The direction this game is headed is going to come down to a couple key buckets by either team.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That free throw missing. And the second free throw, good.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
Dinwiddie against Doncic. Ross, that's good. And Toronto leads by 4.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Passes to Collins. Shoots over Powell. Detroit, no good that time either. Toronto leading by 4. And Doncic, here we go. And the dunk by Doncic.
And it just seems when Doncic turns it on, it's a sight to see. Incredible at scoring in a variety of ways.
Dinwiddie passes to Collins. Here's Thibault. Started by Fournier.
See, that's a solid effort on the defensive glass. You need guys who are willing to work, willing to get their hands dirty inside.
Basket counts. Fournier's got the lead up to 8 now for Toronto.
And the basket has become almost like the ocean here. They have not missed anything here down the stretch.
To the paint, it's deflected. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Fantastic anticipation. He has active hands. Even though he doesn't come away with the turnover, he's disrupting their offensive flow.
The tray. The shot by Sexton, no good. Here's Toronto. They're on a 10-1 run. Doncic passes to Robinson. Back to Doncic. Pass to Powell. Over Gobert. The shot by Powell, no good. And so Sexton will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons, trailing here by 8. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
And the rejection by Collins.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
They couldn't make enough plays when it mattered. Interesting game, though, in terms of some of the matchups.
Doncic against Dinwiddie. Doncic outside. And so it's Toronto winning this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their